Good evening, everyone. My name is Taraka Dayabandara. We are from Mechanical Engineering Sectional Committee. So we initiated something new today at IESL. So first of all, before we go to the proceedings of the meeting, please rise up for our theme song, IESL theme song. Right.
That song is sung in appreciation of engineers.
Okay.
They are
Terima kasih.
Thank you, everyone. Let us start with the proceedings of the launching today. So let me first invite a special person to introduce you what we are going to do today. He is none other than Mr. Arjuna Manamperi. He is a council vice president and the chairman of CPDC since the session 2017 and 18. In sessions 2014 and 15 to 16 and 17, he served in the council as the mechanical engineering sectional committee chairman, from where we initiated this initiative also. So let me invite Mr. Arjuna Manamperi to address the gathering.
I'll take mic.
Yes.
Is your light screen or on the mic?
Yes.
Stand here.
Yes.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Shubha Sandhya Keva. Can I have a raising of hands? How many are IESL members here? All the way. All are IESL members? No, some from the public. You all are from public. How many are from NIPO? National Institution of Intellectual Property. So you are from the public? Where are you from? Universities? Sri Lanka? Navy, very good. Excellent. So my name is Arjuna Manamperi. I'll keep it very short. Here comes the president. Good. Perfect entry. So I lost my words seeing you here. This is our president, ESL. Ladies and gentlemen, the story I want to tell you is a very short one. Director General of NIPO, Madam Ranawaka, came to, I saw a newspaper article. I think it was 2015, madam, right? And I think 2015 or I saw a newspaper article, online newspaper article about what they were doing with this PIPO/NIPO TISC centers. So I thought that it's a good. I was the chairman of the mechanical engineering sectional committee at that time, and I knew the importance of innovation in this country. I think we still do lip service, in my opinion. But nevertheless, I wanted the Director General to come and give us a speech. And what I thought would be a 1 hour speech, she delivered for 4.5 hours, non-stop. And I have never seen anybody doing that. And she didn't have a very large audience either, small audience. She delivered for 4.5 hours non-stop the whole gamut of things about patents and intellectual property rights and what's going on in Sri Lanka, which was not much. But she was struggling with a very small staff, which is about 30 at that time, 30 or 40, yeah, 40. And probably the total revenue was something like 20 million, 19 million. And today, as she meets us for the third time, this is the third time she has come, because I think not last year, the year before last, you came again to give a lecture. And now we already have the TISC center in our institution library. Also, I'm very happy to say that Madam told me that today she has a staff of about 70 and the revenue has gone up to 170 million. Now, if you wonder from 19 million to 170 million, because they do 98 million to 170 million, still it's a doubling, almost like a doubling. It's because they do trade searches and all the trademark searches and various other things. So it's progress. But however, the reason we brought this center here, I suggested to her, because she said that they are all available in the universities. I said we need one in the Institution of Engineers, where there are about 20,000 engineers here, students and members. So I think this is the place to go for patent searches, understand what people are doing, because most people think that you have to only go and file your patent rights. That's not the case. I was in the United States for almost 20 years and I realized the value of this kind of a center. In fact, I'm a trained person on patent searches at some time, and I realized what a wonderful world, as the song goes, patent searches are. Historians go and read the patents. If you want to write about history of the mankind, best place is to go to a patent search office. And crazy stuff, like they were like in 1990s there were about 3,000 patents for ashtrays, cigarette ashtrays. You wonder how would you make 3,000 patents for an ashtray? So it was a very interesting place. Most universities in USA have very large libraries, kind of library that you would like to put up. It's a very large area. People come and do the searches. People come and read the patents and learn about it. Because sometimes when you want to have ideas for your own ideas, if you have some basic idea, you can go and search the patent documents and you can find the formulation of the idea can come better. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So with all this in mind, we decided to convince Madam Ranavaka to give us the opportunity to keep this library here. So we hope through our marketing and your support and extended marketing that we will do in the near future, we will have some people coming and start using it and hopefully produce something valuable to the country. Because before I part my ways, I believe as a country, if you want a singular focus, in the past few years back, 10 years back or 9 years back, it was the war, destructive war. That was the singular focus. We want to end the war, and we did. Today, if you ask me what should be the singular focus, I think everybody's mind should be the overcoming the debt, national debt. We are a bankrupt country today. So the only way to come out of the bankruptcy is to tighten your belts, but you can't tighten the belt until you die. Even if you tighten the belt, it will be short-lived. So you have to come up with value addition. රටක සංවර්ධනයක් නැතුව ණය බරෙන් ගොඩ යන්න බෑ. අපිට ණය වේලා කන්න නැතුව ඉන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ බර අඩු කර ගන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඉස්සරහට යන්න අපි සංවර්ධනයක් අත්‍යවශ්‍ය වෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ සංවර්ධනය කියන එක නව නිමයන් වලින් එන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වටිනාකමක් ලෝකෙට තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒව ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න අපි දැනගන්න. ඒක නිසා තමයි මේ කාර්යභාරය අපි ඉතා හොඳ දෙයක් කියලා අපි හිතන්නේ. දැන් මේකට පස්සේ අපි යනවා OP එකේ ඉනෝවේටර්ස් ලගේ ඉවෙන්ට් එකක් තියෙනවා. So everybody is talking about innovation, young entrepreneurs and etc. But the people have to walk the talk. I think if I ask 100 engineers in the Institution of Engineers President, if I ask 100 engineers, I'm almost 100% sure 98% of them will not know anything about filing intellectual property. They don't even know how to file a trademark. And I go to classes of university students, final year students, 500 people in the room. I ask, how many of you are going to start your own business or have started? I'll be lucky to see one person raising their hand. This got to change. In order to change, I hope this will be an incentive to us, madam. So thank you very much for giving us the opportunity. I wish you all the best. So those of you, I'm sure you are very keen on this matter. So that's why you are here. So with that, Taraka, take over. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Engineer Manantari. Without taking much time, let me again invite from NIPO, National Intellectual Property Office of Sri Lanka, Mr. Nalin Dattanayaka, who is Assistant Director, heading the initiative in TISC centers, to give an introduction to the TISC center in the session. Mr. Nalin.
Thank you, Taraka. I'm Nalin Dattapattu from NIPO. This will be a very short presentation on what we are doing as a focal point to this. WIPO introduced World Intellectual Property was main character behind this concept. We are a focal point as NIPO, and I'm going to make a presentation on TISC centers and what we are doing here in Sri Lanka. So, what is TISC? TISC stands for Technology and Innovation Support Centers. The reason to join with this concept or project, we understood that as a developing country, we are facing a lot of difficulties with the innovators and inventors, especially filing in the patent applications. There were a lot of defects with the application forms, and we were trying to find a solution for that. And because the main objective of the project was to stimulate the innovation ecosystem or innovation efforts in the country. So because of that reason, we signed with the World Intellectual Property Organization the service level agreement, and it was started in 2014. Right? It is kind of, so we are talking about centers. We are going to start centers in different institutes, sometimes with the university, sometimes with the institutes like this, and research and development institutes. So it is kind of an institutional arrangement. Mostly there are about 44 research and development institutes in Sri Lanka, and about 15 universities, government universities, and few private universities. And from those institutes and universities, we are receiving very limited patent applications. So this is why we understood this is why we need to stimulate the system. Through this TISC project, we are promoting technological and patent and technological databases, access to patent and non-patent databases, especially the technological information. So with the TISC center, we have nationally based or locally based information system, which includes the patent system, patent information with NIPO, and internationally available, mostly freely available databases information. So it is given here to provide innovators in developing countries with access to locally based high quality technology information and related services, helping them to exploit their innovative potential and to create, protect and manage their intellectual property rights. So core services will be access to patent and non-patent databases, as I mentioned. This is very important because to get familiar with the system, you have to have access to this information, patent and non-patent databases, because all the patent or innovative efforts are rely on state-of-the-art information. So to find out the state-of-the-art information, this is the best resource. We have patent databases and non-patent databases. So through this TISC, we are supposed to provide assistance in using databases, because they are very very structural, and again it is little complex. And also because of the 3-language policy, I think there is a language barrier as well. So up to A level, most of the times we are studying, now it is in English medium, but if we go back to 10 years or 15 years back, then it will be only in single medium. So we are studying up to A level in single medium, and most of the people are struggling in the universities because of the language barriers. So it is same with the inventors. I am talking to my experience. Mostly inventors are individuals who have up to A level or O level academic qualifications, and they are struggling to find out the state of the art or prior art information with their innovative efforts. So that is why we are talking about assistance in using databases. So additional services will be technology search services. So this can plan the future, because there are certain companies like Brandix, now they have their own stuff, but there are certain companies, they are looking at these kind of services, state of the art services they are looking at. So TISC centers can be developed to reach that requirement for the outsiders. Patent analytical service, that can be done, patent landscaping, these kind of things. Awareness raising and training services. We have started TISC at ICTA, and they have organized few awareness raising programs to the IT people, IT related industries. They have organized few awareness raising programs. So TISC, as a TISC here, you can do the same, because as Mr. Mahampal mentioned or Tarak mentioned, there are about 20,000 members. So this is in detail what we can do. Access to online patent and non-patent databases, publications, assistance in searching and retrieving technological information. Here, as the ISL, you have technical expertise, so you can do more comparing to the other institutes. You have, as you mentioned, you have mechanical department, you may have electrical and electronic department, mechatronics maybe. So you have more technical expertise, then the assistance will be more advanced than other institutes. On-demand searches, what we call state-of-the-art search, and when we are talking about patents, there's a topic called infringement of patents. Once the technical expertise is there, you can help on that as well. Infringement, mostly discussed in the legal sector. If you are violating others' rights, it is kind of, when it comes to the patent, it is an infringement. Monitoring technology and competitors. This is again on-demand assistance, because some companies, they are looking at who are the competitors, and you can help on that as well. Basic industrial laws, management and strategy, technology consolidation, and these kind of things we will be in the pipeline of well-planned TISC center. Why we need this? As I mentioned, there are a lot of research works are going on, but unfortunately about 80% of the patent applications, local patent applications, are coming from the individuals, general public, not from the scientists, researchers and university students. That's why we need this network to be expanded. Defective patent applications. This is the very recent story. In 2019, up to June 30th, we have examined 244 applications. Out of those 244, 225 applications were with defects. Out of 225, maybe about 80% or 90% with the defective patent report. So through the TISC, we are promoting prior arts and state-of-the-art information. In those applications, 90% or 80%, they were not looking at the prior art, because they have no information about patent databases or technological database, how to search that and how to collect those information. That was the issue. Even with the technical and English language, they are not looking at that. So that is why we are promoting this service through the TISC. So this is not much important, because we are the focal point and we are looking at this. With the assistance of WIPO, we are doing capacity building programs. We had 2 programs related to TISC, but in addition to that, we had few patent drafting programs as well. And they are promoting networking. Networking means
May I interrupt?
yes,
I think let's stay with the NIPO activities.
right.
Don't bring up the NIPO.
Okay.
You'll confuse people.
Okay.
Stay with NIPO.
So now I'm just introducing the structure.
Yeah, right. So
No, I'm going to talk about networking.
Right.
Networking is important because there are TISC centers in neighboring countries, and sometimes some expertise, let's say robotics or some other field, we don't have a TISC center here. So through that networking, we can access those places and get the assistance.
You don't mind me asking question as we go?
No, it's okay.
Because I think that is important. This field is something totally new.
Yes.
So I think impromptu questions will help the audience to
Yes,
understand,
that's
right?
true. Yes. Yes.
So now the specific question, issue that you are describing, or rather the situation, we don't have the expertise here.
Yes.
Like let's say robotics.
Yes.
Let's take that machine learning.
As an example, yeah.
So, but there's an inventor here who wants to work in that area. He comes to the TISC center. We don't have the expertise.
Yes.
What do we do?
So there is a network.
Yeah.
There is a platform called I'm going to talk about in the next two slides. It is a kind of social media platform.
Okay.
TISC. So you can.
Is it accessible through our TISC
Yes.
system?
Yes. As a member, I'll show you this.
Can you bring up that screen as well?
Some keys are not working, right? Key combination, all the tab. So this is the TISC directory. I will go back. This is with WIPO, and ISL is one of the TISC registered there. So your specialization is given here.
That's how specialization. There.
Yes.
Chemistry, chemical engineering, civil engineering, electrical and electronics engineering, information technology, and mechanical engineering.
Yeah. So
What does that
this is the earlier page. There are few TISC registered with WIPO in Sri Lanka,
Right.
and
Now the Institution of Engineers appears in Colombo.
yes,
So, madam, you said there are 18 such centers, but there are only 9.
no, they registered. Yes,
They are not
we are trying to react to it.
Some
The-
are defunct actually.
Right,
Though
defunct.
we have opened up, there are practical.
Yeah, like Nanasarovar.
So there are countries. So let's check with maybe
India government.
India, they don't.
Philippines.
Yeah, Philippines was the
Most active.
best
Right.
example. They are having success stories.
African countries also are there.
So, what are you going to show in the What are you going to show now?
No, we can search few institutes. Sometimes with their name, we can recognize.
No, what is the context?
Context
You are
means
searching India,
yes.
and what is the reason you are doing that?
We were talking about expertise.
Expertise.
We don't have
So
robotics.
you go to India, search
Yes,
India,
yes.
come to one of their centers and you click on that.
Yes, we can find out few.
Are there TISC centers in the?
Yes, in India.
And then we can go there.
Yes, we
Online?
can look at online. We can look at what are the expertise with those
No,
institutes.
Can you go to their website and then look at their patents or something?
Indian patents they have separate page in pass.
No, you started telling the story, sort of. Let's take this so that people get it, right? So you did the search on India, came to Indian website, one of the TISC centers, and
No,
looked at
I was not talking about patents. I
the,
was
no,
talking.
wait,
Yes.
So you came to the specialization.
Hmm.
Now here it says, let's say,
Agriculture.
health and life sciences. They have health and life sciences which we don't have.
Yes.
Now-
So we can contact that institute.
That's the problem.
Yes, that's the point.
Who can contact? You contact or we contact?
No, you can
We
contact.
can, we have the access here.
We have the access here.
Yes. They contact, email,
So when you
here's.
are a member of this group,
Yes, yeah, which
you
we
are
are.
officially now there.
Yeah,
So you have the access, they are opening up the gates for you.
great for you. I hope all of you got it. Yeah. You want to කතා කරන්න. ලෝකෙට අපි සම්බන්ධ වෙලා තියෙන එකයි කියන්නේ.
Yes.
So the contact numbers and the email address
Is there, you can drop an email or.
Actually, because these other TISC centers,
Yeah.
because of what Mr. doing,
Yeah.
we were initiating also, but we did I think 3 or 4 programs for awareness raising
Yeah.
for the members.
Yes.
Those who came are not there anymore. So we are training new people. That was the point. So I stopped getting them down. Or at least now we are better now. And
Yes.
after 2 years we are better. Your institute and there are other institutes who are really interested.
Right.
So we will organize a session next year
Yeah.
with WIPO experts.
To come to ISL. Yeah. We can
Yeah,
organize
we
here.
can even get your
The
place.
institution of engineers, we can
Yeah, so
organize.
we can invite other institutes also and get a small number here and get a give a very good training.
Right.
They are both of them, they are experts who will come here and teach you how to do a patent search exactly the way the international community needs.
Do we have it done next year?
So a lot of work for us, don't even talk. Suggest for us. Because we have to be available and otherwise can't organize.
So ISL is one, as I shown here, ISL is one of the registered TISC center in Sri Lanka. I'll go back to the presentation. So this is what we do. I have discussed this matter. Capacity building, on-site training will be provided. We have few staff with NIPO, and we are having also communication channels with WIPO staff and whatever they.
Let me ask this question. So we have been trained, Tarak has mentioned to you and I think the Director General as well. Our libraries, can you hear me? Our library staff has been trained very well.
Yeah, one discussion we had.
Yes,
Yeah.
the lady has been trained, right?
Right.
Not that's the library.
Yes, not that
Not
much
training,
training,
but has
yes.
some idea.
Yeah.
So if we want to get a solid training on this one, can we arrange that?
Yeah, it is possible
Yeah,
with our staff.
Officers. And also, they can be connected to WIPO Academy
Yes.
online.
And that's the best way
Do
to
the
do it.
distance learning courses.
Yeah.
So members will be
Yeah,
allowed.
yeah.
And
This
we
is-
are in the middle to say, okay, yeah, they are a member.
Excellent. Now,
Tarak, no, sorry, Chamila, you have registered for one of the courses, right?
චමිලට නෙමෙයි ඕනේ. චමිලට කියන්නේ අපේ චමිල. චමිලට නෙමෙයි. චමිල වුණාට කමන්නේ චමිල. What I want to do is, can you please write to me, Tarakano's number, access to some online courses, right? We will offer it through the Digital Learning Academy. We have a process to do that, and I would like to send it to all the members to learn that. Okay, that's okay, right?
Yeah, it's
So
possible.
yeah, only thing is you will have to request to us. ne?
Yes.
Yeah, so we will say okay, as long as you recommend that these are one of your members, then we are okay, we are fine.
Madam, what I'm saying-
Everybody around
Yeah.
will not be allowed.
Yeah.
But only the members here.
No, they are not available throughout the year. Once they are available, we will inform you. Then you can select who are the people who should follow those
That
courses.
is the courses.
Yes.
No,
Yeah, but
wait.
that can be accessed online too. And they can see online what are the courses available.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you, if you want to log into that and
Learn.
register for distance learning, you inform us.
Okay.
There is a format to be signed by us.
Right.
When we sign and send, you can upload them and send.
Madam, this scholarships will be available at the very beginning of the year.
Ah.
Scholarships?
Yes, they are scholarships. Otherwise, we have to pay.
So paying
This-
එක තමයි distance learning paying එක අපිට පුළුවන්.
Oh, paying. If you are ready to pay, then you can start at any time.
Yeah, so what I want to know is what are the courses available?
Right,
How
right.
much are they?
It is
Available.
available in
General intellectual
website.
property and for science sector, I think there are special ones.
Mm.
No, I'm talking at the high level. courses කොයිද තියෙන්නේ කොයිද ගන්න තියෙන්නේ කවුද තියෙන්නේ කියලා කොයිද තියෙන්නේ
Viper website
website Viper Academy.
right
and also webinars available. You can participate with registration in the Viper website. So we can provide on-site training.
no, not done yet. So if I go to our library, if I access the system,
Yes.
I can go and look up what are the courses available.
Yeah, no need to go to the library. You can, if you have a smartphone, you can just.
No, I do that. Keep it simple.
Mm.
We go to the library,
Mm.
we look it up and I can register then and there the course
Yes,
by paying using
by paying.
credit card or debit card.
Yes,
How much are they?
about $70 or $80 the cost. So in the capacity building on-site training, we are providing patent documentation databases, patent search concepts and skills. We have to improve these skills to have a better service, specialized
So,
patent
so
search.
Narendra, when you say you are providing these services,
Yes,
now we got the database here, right? You are teaching people how to use it,
yes,
essentially.
yes.
So how does it work out? Let's say a group of people come and say we want to learn. How do we, what's the frequency? How do we arrange that?
In Nipo we can arrange. If, say you have 10, not 10, 2 or 3 people,
Right.
they need to learn about these concepts and skills.
Yeah.
Then we can arrange training at Nipo.
Yeah. So I said, what we need to do is we need to maintain a registry in the library. Right? Immediately, starting tomorrow. And when people come and ask some things, we write the name, contact number, email, and we keep a register, and when the number of people are right, about 10 or 5 or whatever, contact them. People, right?
Yes, but what will be the process? People are coming here to have a service.
No, people will say we want better training, more skill training, so we can have a list of them.
No, it has to be TISC staff, not all the people. We will train TISC staff. We are talking about TISC staff.
This stuff.
Yes.
Thank
You
you.
have to allocate about 2 3 people.
I got it.
Take care of
Then
people.
those people can get the
I
assistance
got
from
it.
them.
I got
They
it.
in turn they have to train
Understood.
others.
Understood. Train the trainer.
Yes.
Right. No, there's nothing to start right. You have like that.
So these are the TISC centers where we can find in ETISC platform. In ETISC platform, there are people available online. If you have a question, you can ask online, and they will reply to your questions. It is a social media platform like Facebook or Imo or something like that. So there are forum groups, news events, webinars. What you have to do is you have to register with the ETISC.
So how would you people put forums to use now? The forum app.
Some people are starting forums. There are ongoing forums as well.
Can
You
you
can
go?
join. You can join.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want them to say, can you go to on the website forum again?
No, I don't have passwords with ETISC account. So you have to register and you can access this platform. Forums
It
groups.
takes a little time,
Yes.
you know, and not in a not long a time like this, but you should do it. You need more time for that.
So this Ask the Expert, that service also available with the ETISC platform. So as we mentioned, we have a success story in Philippines. They have innovation and technology support officers. So this is about what they have done and these things. So they had a few years ago about 85%. They had about 40 to 50 institutes joined with this project, and out of those 85% were academic institutes. Research institutes were only 2%. That's all I have to present here. There are 2 email addresses where you can drop an email if you need further clarification or information. As I mentioned at the very beginning, this effort is to stimulate innovation ecosystem in the country, and we have identified few issues. As I mentioned, the inventors and innovators, they are having issues with the prior art searches, I mean prior art information and state of the art information. So because of that reason, we have defective applications. So those 225 applications which we were rejected in the first 6 months, maybe about 50 to 60% out of those are patentable. But those people don't have, I mean, the knowledge and sometimes the technicalities to find out prior information. So this is why the project is there.
And can you tell us a story? Meaning, give us an example. Now,
Yeah.
let's say I'll create an example for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let's say I am in the process of doing something creative, a machine. Right?
Yeah.
I'm interested in finding out various other ways of solving the problem. Eventually, I'm interested in patenting my idea. All these things are in my mind.
Yes.
So how do I use the system here? What do? I come to ISL, assuming that there is a person.
So I am the person helping you.
Right. That's right. Let's do that.
So I need few keywords.
Yes. Shall we say?
Right.
Huh? Right.
Right.
Timer. Yeah, we're going a timer. He's interested. He's a gadget guy. I know. So he does all kind of stuff. He's a really timer.
Yeah. So WIPO having a database named Patent Scope.
Okay.
So-
Scope.
I am using that database. It is freely available.
Right.
If you search Google Patent Scope, you can reach there.
But this is you are going online.
Yes, it's online.
And I mean you're going to the web.
Yes, web.
So can the same thing can be accessed from the
Yeah.
Any computer, even with the smartphone, you can access.
Any other ordinary person also can access. Only thing is they don't know how to go to this particular point
Right, exactly.
by doing a search and an advanced search.
Exactly.
So it is timer. Do it have any special effects? I mean, electronic. It gives us. It is automatically retrieving.
You know, blurred.
11,000 applicants.
Still searching. Why is it blurry?
Not focused really.
You have to fix it there.
There's 11,800 something.
Yes. So still it is a huge result. You can't go through these 11,000 documents. So you have to have more information.
Streamline.
Yes. To narrow down these.
Narrow down.
Yes.
Narrow down.
You have to have more information. And also Google having separate page for patents, Google Patents. So this page will retrieve you only patent results. Google having separate page for patents, Google Patents.
I know that what I'm really trying to do with the audience is
Yes.
that this center we opened at the ISL, I'm trying to bring it into them to realize what can be done there. That's what I'm trying to do.
So there are few things to be considered. So I am the, as I mentioned, I am the person. We assume that I am the person to help you.
Right.
So you are giving me some information.
Yeah.
Sometimes there will be issues. They will say that no, they are asking all the information before giving us the relevant results, something like that. So to address that issue, you can have NDA, non-disclosure agreement. There will be practical issues. It is a practical issue in the future because to retrieve information, I have to ask some information from you.
Keep it simple now. You don't have to, if everybody knows you can go to the Google and do the patent
Yes.
search, right?
Yes.
So we don't need the TISC center to do that.
Yes.
I want to focus today on TISC center.
Yes.
Now we say we have a TISC center at the ISC Institution of Engineering Sri Lanka.
Yes.
how does this help this audience? What can they do there?
So let's say robotics. Let's take an example in robotics. So it is little, it is little technological, not like this subject. I mean, this in timer and electronics. It is very general. So to retrieve more information, to narrow down the search, you have to have more information from the innovator. We have to narrow down search.
Advanced search.
Yes, because you can't read 11,000 documents. So you have to have more information to narrow down that search. What should be the technicalities within those two words, timer, electronic.
Right. Then what do we do after?
Then you have to give me more information.
Right.
How to
Then after
that we are using field combinations, more field combinations there. I can have more fields like title again. I am using here timer word with the title, and in the abstract I am using electronics. I can have another field in abstract. So we have a timer.
No, what I'm asking is
Why people should go to the TISC?
yeah, this is a website. This we can access through having the internet
Yes.
connection and all that. What
Yes.
I'm asking, what do we do at the TISC center?
TISC center, they are trained to narrow down the search. So they will structure the search criteria. Then they will ask more questions
There should
from
be
you.
two or one or two people who can help the people who come to research.
Yes.
Quick search has to be done now. You can't be struggling to get these
Okay,
data. And also our database, you are giving our database.
Yes,
also?
yes, they have.
Our database is not available yet.
That's what I know. There are some exclusive databases which are only accessible to TISC. That is the point, right?
Yes.
our database.
No, it is all. It is.
Our database.
It is our database.
You got it?
Yeah.
That is only our database, because our database still not online.
Sri
You have to
Lankan
come to
database.
our office to get the access to our database. That is also given to a TISC center.
So there's
So that can be in online ones.
So that database given to the TISC center.
Yes.
And they can
So
Yes, but it is very small one. We have only.
Granted patents are available in our
It will be available in few days.
Is it
Yes.
possible to one example how to get the use of this?
You mean search?
Yeah. But let's say you may take three examples to get the service of that.
Hmm.
That is the example that's what I was trying to do. But what we are realizing here is that patent searches can be done with this Google patent and all that, narrow it down and etc. So that is online search. So what they are providing in this center, there should be one or two experts who knows how to go about doing it. But what is unique about the TISC center is the local database of patents. And ඒක තමයි කියන්න ඕනේ පොඩක් ක්ලික් කියන්න. Local database තියෙනවනේ.
Local database.
ඒක තියෙනවා දැන් TISC center. නැත්නම් අපි offset යන්න ඕනේ.
To retrieve, you can retrieve granted patents. You can get the.
only the granted patents will be made available to you, not the patent pending
That's
application.
understood. So local patents that have been granted can be searched in our TISC center. That is the key point.
Yeah. Title search you can do with TISC center.
Yeah.
The TISC people will contact us to get that information.
Right. People can have it cover it.
Yes.
Right.
has it totally gone online? The database?
Our database?
Yeah.
Not yet.
Please no.
No, not yet. The granted patents will be available in 1 week or 2 week time.
Okay. One more thing, like during your presentation, you said the database is of two-fold. Like one is data about the patent and non-patent invention, right?
Yes.
So, as I understand, for inventor, the concern will be about the products that have been already granted patent. So, what is the importance of having non-patent product? Can you just
Because to grant a patent, we are looking at 3 requirements: novelty, inventive step, and industrial applicability. So, novelty refers to all the information available prior to the filing of the patent application. So, which includes patent information and non-patent information as well. Say research paper, something like that. So in Google Scholar you can have research papers as well. So that is the importance of non-patent information. So
One more thing, you said that there were no 440 applications, out of which the 424 were
defective, yes.
Defect, is it same as IP violation? What is the meaning of defect?
Defect means most of the times inventor did not search the prior art, the patent information available before the filing. So because of that reason, the examiner is citing some documents. Maybe they are not cited documents, but mostly related documents. So it is up to the applicant to show that they are little different from or his invention is little advanced from those documents. So the examiner has to refer to the inventor to show what is the novelty with that document, something like that. Once you develop the expertise, you need not to go to the TISC. We are talking about the people who are having little barriers, sometimes technical barriers, sometimes language barriers.
So, but still, when you want to contact other TISC officers with the other expertise, then through a TISC center you have to contact.
Yes.
And get involved with the blogs and the forums
Yes.
and discussions.
Yes.
Then through a TISC center.
That is the advantage.
Because we are, as you rightly pointed out, we are group of engineers. We expect the public also to come here, but essentially this was brought in here because we are engineers, technically sound people and logical people. So they can go to the website and go through the process. The advantage, what we are trying to figure out is the delta advantage, rather than advantage of having the TISC center here. Number one, we get the local patents, the title searches.
Yes.
Otherwise, we'll have to go to the office. So people
Yes.
can come here more visually, search the local patent titles, and
With the payment,
with the payment.
Hmm.
How much is the payment?
150.
Right, whatever. That's normal standard.
No, I mean not here. If they are coming to our office, they have to pay first. Then we are
Here is free.
Here it's a free of
Yes.
charge.
Right. So that's a very important thing. Not the 150 rupees, but the fact that we don't have to go through the
yes.
hassle.
Hassle of going there.
150 can get for. I'm surprised you only charge 150 rupees.
No, we will be increasing, of course. 10 years for 10 years.
So the other thing is, then the second thing is connectivity to other networks, which can happen through this being a TISC center. So when I need the access to robotics, it is through the TISC center I can have the access. And the features on forums, news articles, research,
They are helpful. Yes.
they are very helpful.
Yes.
Because the whole purpose of doing this is to spur, as you said, an innovative minds among the engineers. Because
Yes.
as I already mentioned to you in my introductory speech, our minds are not innovative.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. This
Yes,
gentleman
that's
was
true.
from Navy. There were 6 of you. You are all from Navy, right? Lot of people. So you are here because you do a lot of creative stuff. I think you said I have been to your places and forces are doing a lot of that stuff. So it's the whole army of people, or the army of Navy of people, which is very good. So I hope you should ask the question. I have asked last thing. But Tiaga no usaha karena makiyo kan usaha kan antara IS එකේ ඩිසයින් කරලා තියෙන නිසා දින වටනකම් මොකද? පළවෙනිම මේ ඔෆිසර් එක වැඩම කියන මැඩම් ලොකු ඔෆිසර් කෙනෙක් ඒක නේ පයිද කියන්නේ. දැන් ඉන්නේ පයිද කියන්නේ ඉන්දියාව දෙයක් ජානික් කරනවා කරදරයි. ඒක මෙතන දෙන්න නිදාසේ උගල බැරිද මෙතන මේ සබ්ජෙක්ට් කරනවා. එදින එක මේක හරහා අනිත් සෙන්ටර්ස් වල සම්බන්ධීකරණය කරනවා. ලෝකයේ අනිත් ලෙවල් සම්බන්ධීකරණය ඒක ලොකු දෙයක් පයින් කරනවා. තුන්වෙනි කාරණේ තමයි මේකදී අර ෆෝරම් සර්වර් වලට සහභාගී වෙන්න පුළුවන් ඔන්ලයින් ගිහින්. ඒවා Google කරලා දෙන ඒවා නෙවෙයි. Right? Yeah, usually Google engineers are technical right, very good. To see all. Madana will run the Air Force Navy.
And ISL can do more because
Yeah, yeah.
we are receiving only 1 or 2% of applications from
I
engineers.
know. That's terrible, isn't it?
Yes.
That's
Well,
terrible.
also the point, that you should make it. Now, people do reinvent.
Yes.
You must not reinvent the wheel.
Yes.
Right?
We do that all the time.
Same research will not be done.
Yeah.
So what China did was to start from what their US stopped.
Exactly.
Right? That should be the way.
That's right.
Though we say it's copying,
Yeah.
copying
Not
also
copying.
is part of their strategy.
Yeah.
But at the other, on the other hand, they are doing their own research
Exactly.
and coordinate with another set of inventions.
That's
And China is the highest number of filing taking place from China.
Currently, yes. Yeah.
Not US now. They have passed.
Applications.
US
Yes.
and also for trademarks. Surprisingly, I don't know how. Patents, of course, you can imagine because it's a huge country.
So give a round of applause to Assistant Director of NIMO, Mr. Nalendra, and wait for a moment. I mean, we are the guest lecturer's lecture is coming on the way. Before that, let me invite our dear President, Professor Pallavatha, to share a few words of wisdom with us for the gathering.
Good evening, welcome. So after listening to all this, I think mostly as engineers, we should be innovative, if not inventive, at least innovative. Actually, in our job, most of the time what we are supposed to be doing as engineers, not as maybe as technologists, but as engineers, we are supposed to be being innovative. Design is actually that. So, having said that, we should know what has been happening in the world. So that is why this search about what innovations that have been done and all these things is important. So that's why I think this mentioning about the reinvention of the wheel. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already there. So likewise, most of the things that we are talking about, that we might think as new things, because we might, when we sit down and think about a problem that we are having at hand, we might come up with a nice solution. And also you might also think that it is the first time that type of thing came, because we are not really checked on it. So the TISC Center as well as the National Intellectual Property Office, and again when you go into the global level, the WIPO, what they are actually doing is storing or databasing what already has been done, and then you can start from there. So if you have a problem and you don't have an answer, you might find the answer already ready-made in a database like this. So your problem is solved. And then if that is also is not exhaustive, then you might want to invent something new, innovate something new. So that is the importance of a patent search, as well as because I think our speakers mentioned about patented as well as non-patented items. So the basic idea here is not only for you to create a patent or establish a patent, but to find out what is there in the process of getting into a patent. That will make your ideas more clearer, because if you are filing a patent, I know a little bit of about this. When you have thought that you have invented something, it is really when you try to file the patent, you see that the problems in it. It's like answering an examination. You might think that you have studied everything well, but when you sit for the exam only, you know that where you are. Right. So with that type of understanding, I think it is about time ISL also got into this aspect, right? And because engineering is almost everywhere it is inventiveness and innovativeness. So this is what we should get into. And most of the time we might have to innovate things. This is what I am always thinking about when I am also having a free time to make something new. So what we might want to do is, through international patents, we might find something that we can innovate to match our country requirements. Something that has served some other country may not work here the same way it is at the same time. So I think don't feel disheartened if you can't think of a new thing to innovate. You might not be able to invent anything, but you always have the potential of innovating things. So with that note, I think I will make way for our lady, Ms. Ranavaka, right? And I am very thankful for her to be here today and organized by our Mechanical Engineering Section Committee, all that people there. And so in advance, I am going to thank her for giving us an explanation about the nitty-gritties of making patents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Balavatta. Now our guest speaker is going to address you all. She is none other than Ms. Geethanjali Ranavaka, the Director General of National Intellectual Property Office of Sri Lanka. So Ms. Geethanjali is in the National Intellectual Property Office since 2012 and has been serving NIPO for last 24 years. And Ms. Ranavaka is an attorney at law and holds a Bachelor of Law degree and Master of Law degree from University of Colombo. Has actively participated in numerous workshops, seminars and meetings held in Sri Lanka and overseas. Received training in intellectual property in many countries. Also, Ms. Ranavaka serves as a member of Council at University of Moratuwa since 2015 and as NIPO being focal point in Sri Lanka for WIPO. Ms. Ranavaka initiated establishing technology innovation support centers, which are known as TISC centers, we open today. There are about 7 centers here now in Sri Lanka. Active centers, more than that is also available, which provides patent-related information to general public. So let me invite Ms. Ranavaka to give you an understanding of what it is today. Over to you.
Do you need a mic? Yeah. So I'll move faster. My presentation is very long, but I think we'll go for the shortest one because you are interested in more on patents, not much on the others. That's good. That's better. So I think you don't need much details about our office and details that you are aware, and you can get all the information from the TISC center, which is now our working partner now. We have a collaboration, and I think we signed the agreement, right? Did we? Yes. Right. So intellectual, you know what's intellectual property? That is creations of the human mind, and that creation needs to be protected. And any government in the world, all over the world, needs to give a license, a protection by the government to the inventor so that he can be encouraged and also compensated for the work he did, for the invention that he did, and that invention should be taken back to the society or the economy. So this is how US, UK, Germany and all those countries came up like this, even after having a lot of severe situations during war times because of their inventions, right? So the problem here is we do not take it seriously. We may be good inventors, we may be good thinkers, we have a lot of ideas, but we don't put them into practical work, right? So but we can see this happening in the schools, right? through inventors clubs we see little children, they do creation, they do invention, but thereafter sometimes the schools or the parents don't know how to proceed with that, because they don't want to get the children's skills taken forward. They don't want to get that happen, because they are more focused on doing exams, like the scholarship. From grade 2 they go to the classes and they stop having the skill development, right? So therefore we have a problem in this country, but I know that we do have anybody who is in any field has this inventive capacity, creativity to do creative work. So it can be inventions, designs, marks, that is trademarks, literary work, artistic work, that is writing, poems, musical work, and also computer programs. They are all coming under intellectual property, and it's an intangible property, but it has a commercial value, and if the government is granting a certificate for the protection, you can value it, you can commercialize it. So this is the idea behind this, and also these are the traditional ones under intellectual property, that is trademarks, patents, designs and copyrights. These are the 4 main areas. So we will be talking more on patents today than others, but basic information about the other 3 also I will line up. And these trademarks are, now if you come out with a certain product, say so you mentioned the electronic timer, something like that. So when you create it, you have a certain little product, so you have to sell it, you have to penetrate into the market. So how do you go about get about doing that? For that you need a trademark, because it is so and so's invention, produced or manufactured by so and so, marketed by so and so, but what is the mark? So then you have to give a name also, right? So for that only trademarks are available. So these are 4 trademarks that we have. Pure Ceylon cinnamon is for cinnamon, owned by government body EDB. Dilma is our tea producer, mark, well-known mark, and he doesn't do anything else, doesn't use any other mark than using Dilma, right? Even for all the developed, researched, scientifically researched tea products, he uses the mark Dilma, because he doesn't want to dilute the mark. His identification is Dilma, so that his product can be identified in the market from this mark. So if somebody wants to buy this product Dilma, he will go to the market, he will look at the other products, so the tea, and then there are other brand names like Mlesna, Sesta, Lipton's, Dilma. So what is the best product, or what is the product that you want to buy using this trademark? So this is the idea behind using a trademark. So these things are really necessary for your day-to-day life, because you need to buy and you need to invest on a product that you really want to use in your life. So patents are these examples. Some machines and designs are outer shapes of products, appearance, and these are some of the examples again. Now see, international marks, Puma, Nike are all international brands. So locally also we have DSI, DI, so these things also are registered with us. And some examples for Coca-Cola. Now here the bottle shape, the mark Coca-Cola, and also and not only the products, also services like restaurants, hospital services, communications, that is even the Rupani channels, TV channels are registered with us as services. So these carry service marks, and products carry trademarks. So to differentiate the goods or services of one enterprise from those of another enterprise. So then the customer will be made, it will be easier for the customer to select what he wants. So these are much details actually. It can be a slogan even. Gedara Yana Gawang is a good service mark now of Cargill's. So any word, letter, numeral, drawings, logos, pictures, and here this little water bottle, Elephant House. It's a brand name. It's a trademark. So it's registered with us. So this is the water is classified in class 32 as drinks. Right. So this is registered with us under class 32. So this shape of the bottle is going for designs. Right. Not always, because it's a common design. So this is all about trademarks. Just go through, just read them. I am not going to explain because I want to get on to patents. So it's always depends on the goodwill of the mark. This is how Coca-Cola has earned up to now, 150 years, still the same quality, same name, same brand name, and whenever somebody violates their rights, they file cases everywhere in the world. So even in Sri Lanka, it's well protected. And why trademarks? Ensure that consumers can distinguish between products, and also for franchising agreements. Now, if the quality is there of a product, then you can go for franchise agreements. This is how McDonald's has come to Sri Lanka, KFC has come to, Subway has come to, because they have a commercial agreement, a franchising agreement with a local partner, and they produce the food products according to the standards that is given by the international principal company. So therefore, we also have international links because through these franchising agreements. And how to choose your trademark, that also is you can read. Actually, you can read our websites and learn, and this presentation will be there for you to read. And what we do the examination and see whether the mark is acceptable, and if it is not, we reject, and if it is acceptable, we proceed with the gazetting, and then thereafter, now see, when we do the examination, we look at all the details. The wrapper, sunlight wrapper, it gives the details of the sun rising, the clouds, and the fruit, lemon fruit here, and the color combination, yellow and red, yellow and blue, and there are similar ones also. So we look at them and we reject them because the sunlight has got the priority over this, and also they have got exclusive rights to that cloud device and also the rising sun device by way of long and extensive user. They have got the rights, so therefore others cannot come into the picture. So they have to select something else to register their mark.
So how do you really get that long use?
Because sometimes people get into the market and sell it.
Yeah, okay. Now say, take for instance sunlight.
Yeah.
We know for a long time it has been there.
Yeah.
But how do you legally establish that it has been there for long?
That because they give evidence to us. Because now if we refuse sunlight application also, then they have to come for a hearing, inquiry, and they provide all the details of past user details, and then we know that they had been there in the market for say 10, 20 years or 30 years, and therefore they are entitled to that. But it should not be totally descriptive ones, right? We don't consider a line of these clouds and also rising sun. They are not considered as common items in this class. But certain things, now cup and saucer and the tea plucker device, they are all common devices in class 30 for tea. So therefore we don't allow. Even if they have a long user, they don't allow because there is nothing special in that. Right? There should be some distinctiveness to the mark to have a even long user confirmation.
Okay, madam. If I write SON sunlight, I produce some soap.
Sorry?
Not SUN sunlight.
Yeah.
SON sunlight.
Even then we refuse.
Refuse?
Yes, because it's a pronunciation.
No, sun means my
Pronunciation
my
is
sunlight, not the sunlight.
that you have to explain.
Yes,
because
my sun's light. Because my science shirt is lighting. It is the meaning of sunlight. Not SON.
You can argue that way, but the point is for us, because we have a criteria of doing these things. We have the law, we have the system, we have the procedure. So we look at all the marks according to the visual and phonetic similarity. So if it is phonetically similar also, we reject. And then if the applicant still wants to register and say, if they say no, we want to proceed with this because I have used this, as you said, if he says that I have used this because it's a distinctive one mark, therefore I need to register, then we allow him to come for an inquiry, and we allow you to support your case by way of evidence. Then you have to say, you have to show that you are a competitor in the market along with these people, and it has not affected you or the other party.
Because the letters not getting the patent rights, no? Letters. Very 26 letters in English. If you give the patent right for somebody.
Not patent, trademark rights. There.
Trademarks.
Yeah. So letters
All
cannot
right,
be
all letters.
letters cannot be owned individually, separately, but in combination it can be. Otherwise, you can't have a trademark registered.
For instance, say take IESL.
ISL, yes.
Now, can it be taken as a trademark?
Yes, you can register it as a service mark, not a trademark.
Yeah, the
Yes.
four letters. the four
Yes,
letters in
and
the-
also there is a combination of, I think, colors and you know.
and,
Yeah, that particular one we will give, but we will say no exclusive rights shall be given to the letters I, E, S and L separately and apart from the mark. That is, whenever somebody is using away from your mark, you have no rights, right? You can't claim exclusive rights for those letters, but as a combination you can.
Yeah, combination again. Now, if something is very close to that,
Yes.
somebody puts a logo or a
Yes,
name
yes.
very close to this.
Yeah.
Say IES.
Yes. We will refuse that.
Yeah.
We will refuse that, and he has to support his case if it is really necessary for him to register.
It's already there.
It's because your one is already there.
Yeah.
It will be rejected. So this is how it's happening, and there is another method of filing international applications. Currently, we receive.
But still we see the same some trademarks. What is behind the story?
Yeah, maybe in the market,
Yeah.
but when it comes to registration, we may not have allowed. But they can be in the market. That is up to them to fight it out in courts. Because if it is in the market and if it is a competition, unfair competition, then they can file a civil case and then fight it out in the courts.
If they have not still registered.
They may not have come. If they have come, then we would have rejected it. There are certain cases like that. They are in the market, but when it comes to registration in our office, we reject. So then that's all. So then they have to accept our decision and stay. And also, if they are not happy with our decision, they can go to courts.
So in case if some product is lasting long time,
Yeah.
and one is introducing same product to the market, and he is going to register it, but the previous one has not been registered. Let's say. In
Yeah.
that case,
Yeah.
what is your evidence? Are you considering the history or
What you say is the original one is not registered,
Yes.
but then they are in the market,
Yes.
right? Then
But new one is coming the same.
with the same name.
And he's also going to register with your.
Yes. So then anyway we will be rejecting the second one. Also, when we are looking at the system, our patent, when we are doing the trademark search, we will see even if it is not registered, there is a well-known mark around. So this one is copying that mark and trying to file. So we will see that. So then we will reject it. So there are well-known marks in Sri Lanka also unregistered, but they are in the market. Now if I remember correct, it's mahogany masterpieces. There is a case where they filed an application to us. We rejected it. We heard them on inquiry, and still they filed a long list of documents to show that they have been in the market, and they already proved also. But we considered it as totally descriptive terms, mahogany masterpieces. So then it was rejected by us, and we wrote an order also rejecting it, and they filed a case in High Court, Colombo High Court, and from that case also the same decision came. They affirmed our decision, and they are still in the market, no problem, because people know them. By way of user, they are into the market, but when it comes to registration, they are unable to get. Someday again they might apply, and they might be able to register. That I can't say, but because there was a case, we'll have to reconsider whether we are going to register, because there's a case decision not to register.
So if the original monument masterpieces comes to the picture, he can.
He is the one who came actually. That also was rejected because he has started to use a totally descriptive term, as you said, as you just said, totally descriptive. But it's a very good mark, and it had been in the market. But he is unable to prove the exclusivity of the two words. Whether he can be given exclusive right. Had he used along with the logo, of course he would have had some chance, because he would have disclaimed the two descriptive terms, but given to the logo. So these are things that we need to, follow in the office in the procedural terms.
Those are best practices rather.
Yes. And Madrid route is the international filing system, where a local applicant wants to file in, say, 100 countries in the world. That 100 countries, if they are members of the Madrid Protocol, with one single application and one single fee, they can file this application through us in the countries where he wants to file. So for this purpose, we have to be a member of the Madrid Protocol, and for that we are trying now hard to get this done. And this year it might be over. So we will become a member. And same way, international marks are also coming through this route to Sri Lanka to get registration. So I'll get on to patents now. Why are we granting a patent? I think my colleague also explained to you. Because you have an invention, an idea has become an invention, and that invention has to be accepted and protected. For that purpose, a patent has to be granted by the government. That's a license granted by the government. So it is to exclude others from using or misusing, making, selling, or doing anything to your own invention for a period of 20 years. So this is the idea. So from the date of application, 20 years protection, and once it is granted, the owner can use, sell, license the patent technology and derive financial benefits during that 20 years. Right? Then patent should be renewed to maintain validity up to that 20 years. That is also starting only from the second year, because the law says it's silent, but it is the idea behind that is they should allow the patent holder to get into a certain level by opening up a kind of a manufacturing plant or whatever, and then getting stabilized, and then start going ahead with the commercializing and other activities. So for that, there's a grace period of 2 years, and then thereafter only the payment starts.
How is this 20-year stipulation?
That's internationally accepted.
So it's just arbitrarily it's 20 years?
No, all over the world it's 20 years. And it's the requirement of the trade-related aspects on intellectual property rights agreement. That's a TIPS agreement, enacted by administered by the WTO. So when we are members of WTO, we have to follow those rules. International obligations are there. So all over the world, it's maximum 20 years, not more than that. Some countries, it's 15 years.
Sri Lanka is 40 years?
20 years. 20 years. And then why do you want to obtain patents? Patents protect inventions and ensure the inventors the benefits, that is monopoly against all others, encourage further inventions and promoting investment, economic and technological development, that is for the country. And patent information is useful for researchers, inventors and enterprises for their research and development activities. That is what we mentioned earlier, that information is useful when you are going ahead with the research activity. And if you want to file a patent application, first do the research and see whether it is already invented, whether you should get into that term. This is very important when it is happening in the university. When they are doing research in the university, the students should know that it is already there in the world over, not only in Sri Lanka, in the world over, and we shouldn't do reinventing or re-researching. So criteria of patentability is an invention is patentable only, there are three criteria: new, that is not in the prior art, involves an inventive step, and industrial applicability. Right? That is, new means it should not be in the prior art. This is why we request applicants to do the prior art search. So the TISC centers are for that purpose helpful, and they can come to our office and look at our database. Any general public, if they can't go to TISC center, they can come to us. So currently we don't have TISC centers around the country, so therefore they will anyway have to come to our office. And also in the international databases also, it has to be searched and see whether it is really new, whether it's a good idea. Because recently I remember last year Inventors Commission, there were exhibitions, and the first award winner was a child from A-level student from Kalutara Vidyalaya, I think. He has invented a certain little gadget. I can't explain, I don't have the name of the invention. It's a little gadget fixed to the handle of the motorbike, where when you pull it up from the handle, it gives out a certain pedal underneath the bike, which holds the bike as a kind of a stand, right? Stand. There is a stand already in the bike, but sometimes people forget to remove it, and they start and go, and it hits on the pavement, and there are accidents, it seems. Actually, I don't know the mechanism of the motorbike. This is how he explained.
The side bracket, yeah. They sometimes go with that.
Yes, and it happened. It hits the pavement, and then they meet with an accident or something like that. And this particular thing is an automatic thing. When you stop the vehicle, it comes out, and it's there, coming out, jutting out from underneath. And when you start the bike, it goes in automatically. So it's an automatic thing, and it's a very good invention. And I think first place he won, and it's pending patent. So when he gets the patent, he can market it very well. Very good invention. So I think the Inventors Commission will support him to market it, and he has to use a brand name and go to the market, enter the market. And it's a very good invention. And also because he will be getting the patent only if it is new. We don't know, though he has won the first place in the exhibition. Before that, he had to file the application with us, so that nobody else will infringe his invention. So still we are searching it. If we find out any similar ones, of course we will cite. If there are no similar ones, we think we consider it as a new novel invention, and they will be getting the patent, because it involves an inventive step anyway, and it is industrially applicable, not an imagination. Some people imagine things and file applications, right? This can be like this, this can be like this. They explain, but there is nothing there, because there is no inventive step or nothing that can be explained as an industrial applicability. So even the pharmaceuticals are considered as industrially applicable patents. This is why drug manufacturers are earning a lot of money whenever they come out with a new drug for a certain illness that is being sold in the world market world over. So therefore they can earn a lot of money. So therefore even a drug is a patentable invention. But non-patentable things are there: discoveries, concepts, mathematical methods, formulas. They are just imaginations or kind of schemes which cannot be patentable. So therefore you need to understand the difference between that. So these are the databases that we do search, NIPO database and also PatentScope. These are all available, and there are some other databases which are commercial databases for which you need to pay and go in if you really need
more information. Still, we have no facility for that in our office. So this is the form that you need to file a patent application. This can be downloaded. So these are details that we are asking. And important features of a patent application is clear and precise title. So you said electronic timer. So you can maybe explain a little more about the internal system into the title, right? So explain a little bit, but it should be short and maybe having about 4 to 5 words, not long ones, right? Important features of a patent application, clear, precise title, then claims. Claims are your boundaries. Now timers may have been invented earlier, but you need to say what kind of timer is that to mention it as electronic, right? In that electronic thing also, what is the difference between the ones that have been already invented and your, that you have to identify only from the claims, right? So that bike gadget also, that student has to explain the invention by way of a title clearly, so that it gives the impression that it's not there anymore earlier in the prior art, right? Yeah, so that he has filed the application in Sinhala. I think when he wants to translate it and get it done, then he will have to do some way. That is the problem here, because when we say defective applications, this language problem also is there, because most of the good ones are coming in Sinhala language, and when it comes to Sinhala language, it's a problem, because if whenever it's going to be commercialized, they have to translate it and get it done, because the foreigners we are not going to understand our language, right? So there has to be some solution to this, but since we are trilingual, we have to accept the application if the applicant wants to file it. But we advise applicants to file in English language, so that it will be more beneficial for them, because whenever it is attached to the certificate, it is more authentic and acceptable to everybody. So claims, description, abstract, and our fee has to be paid. And this is just an example that I am giving you. In USA, Graham Bell's patent. See, Graham Bell's telephone, 174,465 in 1876, right? The earliest telephone, and he didn't know how to explain it in the form of a title, right? People didn't know whether it was a telephone or not at that time. So he said the method of an apparatus for transmitting vocal or other sounds telegraphically by causing electrical undulations similar in form to the vibrations of the air accompanying the said vocal or other sound. So this is the explanation by way of title. So see, then he went to the US Patent Office and he got this patent. So this is the drawing that he had drawn to get the patent. So this would have been examined by the patent examiner, and then he received his first patent. And this is another example, sewing machine. The earlier was sewing machine. Then Singer, 18 I can't see, 1851. Then this you know what this is,
Yeah.
right? Spanner, right?
Shifter.
Right. Engineers should know, not me. Yeah. These are downloaded from website. So these are little things, but still very useful, right? Industrially applicable. Inventive step is there, and it's novel. By this year, it would have been a novel thing. I can't see the year. Again, a very old one. Now this is the bread toaster. Bread toaster. 1921. Right?
It's 1,394,000.
That time.
Yeah, no, that number.
Number, their number, patent number.
So that is around 1 million.
Yeah, this is in US. So, even Michael Jackson owns a patent for his
Moonwalk.
moonwalking shoes.
Moonwalk.
Yes.
Not the moonwalk.
Moonwalk is the song, that is for his copyright.
No, he walks.
He walks on those using those shoes. That shoes are protected in US Patent Office, and in 1993 he has got some million odd number for his patent. So I have those pictures not here. So this is how these drawings should be made, so that the examiner get the clear cut impression about the invention. So now see, this is also another sportswear manufacturer, Adidas. This is about German ones, German patents. Even the shoe is a patent, and Adidas is the name, brand name. His name was used after its founder Adolf Dassler. Adolf started producing shoes in the 1920s with the help of his brother Adolf, who later formed the rival shoe company Puma. Puma is the brothers' company, right? So see how creative they are, and also how innovative. This is the gas-powered tricycle. This is again coming from Germany.
Yes.
Yeah. Daimler Chrysler. Carl Benz's application for a patent on January 29, 1886 for a vehicle powered by a gas energy. Birth certificate of the automobile. Right? This is the piano accordion. Again German. All instruments. Early versions of the instrument date back to 3rd century BC China, but the first accordion was indeed invented by a German, Christian Friedrich. It was patented in 1822, and the name accordion was given when it was patented, and he would have identified it as accordion. So patents are granted for inventions by the government and for a limited period of time, and exclusive rights are given. I explained all that, and protection is 20 years, and you need to renew, and it's only for this territory, Sri Lanka. And this it's a powerful business tool. If you have a patent in your hand, and if it is commercialized, yes.
Once the patent is given,
Yes.
is that information clear? Public domain.
After 20 years.
After 20 years, before that?
No. The thing is, the document, patent documents are public documents. Once it is granted, if anybody wants to come and see the documents, we'll have to allow. Right? But you don't have to fear, because you are already given a patent certificate, and the moment somebody violates your rights, you have the right to go and file a case against this other party, infringer, for violating your rights.
But the designs and everything are available in public domain.
Yes, if we'll upload it into the public domain, of course, yes. We have still not started that, but we will be publishing only the titles in the future, near future, not the whole document. And also, if the applicant really needs to hide certain, essential details, scientific details or whatever, they can of course refrain from giving that. But in order to understand what the patent application is and also the details, examiner should be given sufficient information. If you really want to, have some details without revealing, then you can do that. But it will be one of our documents which will be available to the public if requested. Right?
So in that case, some tax authority do some modification to that ask for another.
Yeah, of course. Now this is how the telephone was developed to this level.
Within the 20 years period.
Sorry? Within the 20th period also. Now this otherwise the technology wouldn't have developed to this level. Now how did the refrigerator, how did the bread toaster of that level came to this level? Right? Today's bread toaster is not the one that is there. It was already there, but the later inventors developed little gadgets in addition to the part that is already there, the improvement he can get patent. Right? Even for the telephone, from Graham-Bell's telephone up to now, what a development about the phones. Now Samsung has the latest technology. Every day they are improving. So if there's a technical gadget, of course it's get patent and patentable.
Still, they have to use the basic technology as it is.
Yeah, basic technology you have to acknowledge. This technology is already there for the telephone, but my part is this.
That one is already paid.
The earlier ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop happening that now. It's already patented. Already patent, because it is already patented, only you can manipulate it. Right? If it is not patented, you are unable to touch it even. Because sometimes he might come and say, no, I have not patented, but this is my property. Right? So he can file a case also. But when it is patented, that is that technology, first technology, the prior technology is already patented. You have the right to claim the technology that you have introduced into that particular gadget or the process, product or process. And this is how even the medicines are developed. Already there are medicines, already there are pharmaceuticals for headaches and all those illnesses that we have. But someday if somebody develops a kind of a pharmaceutical for cancer, to cure cancer, to cure AIDS, or currently there are certain sicknesses, illnesses for which we don't have any kind of cure. Right? So if somebody comes out with the medicine, then there comes a day for him to earn a lot of money, because it can be sold all over the world. Even a local kind of traditional medicine, if it is coming out, it will be the day to cure cancer and other illnesses.
Is that FDA fixed for all the products, or are you evaluating it and
No. If granted, 20 years.
for
Yes.
any type of product?
Yeah, unless and until somebody files a case and do a nullity procedure, that is to nullify. If somebody proves that this person has been granted a patent for an invention which shouldn't have been given a patent, that kind of proof should be there to nullify a patent. So far up to now nothing has happened in this country, and therefore we are safe. Otherwise it can happen. In other countries it happens.
Can one argue
Yeah.
the patent itself will be a innovation, because, for example, Japanese copied European car technology and then developed better cars, and Chinese in the recent last decade start copying from other countries and went ahead and explored and went further and developed, extended all the product became cheaper and they got the market all around the world. So, what is your opinion on that? And the patent might actually work against for it.
Yeah, but as it is, they are still going ahead with more and more patents. So there was no barrier for them to go more forward. So everybody criticizes China for having the copied information into their systems and coming out with patents, invention, but still they are being granted patents. So still no one has taken it up. Even now, if there is a problem like that, actually there is an international arbitration centers to where you can file cases, arbitrations, so that the other party can pay compensation to the maybe between two countries, because all are members of WTO. We have that facility. So I don't know whether there may be cases. So up to now, no. And China is the leading country.
I have a very tricky
Yeah.
question, very short.
Yeah.
You said that on a patentable item, you can make an improvement and
Of course.
patent that improvement.
Yes.
But if you are going to industrialize something now, say if you have a patent item, say a scissor, some special type of scissor.
Mhm.
And now, normal scissors are there anyway.
Yeah.
So if somebody has patented the scissor,
Yeah.
and say I put some little bit of improvement on that,
Mm.
I can't just sell that improvement only. I will have to sell the
Scissor.
scissor with the improvement.
Of course.
So now both get the right to do that.
Yes, yes. That is for cross patents. That
Yeah.
is, now the scissor inventor,
Yeah.
patent holder should be having 20 years protection. He should be within the limit, the 20-year period.
Yeah.
If it is not, it's open. It's in the public domain.
Yeah.
So it's free to improve.
Yeah, but say somebody has
If it is
patented
within the period,
Yeah.
then this person who is going to improve it has to get permission of the other one to improve it. And if this person is successful and lucky, he will get the patent and he will share the income with the other one, the first
So-
patent holder.
So first that has to be sorted out.
Of course. And also it's happening. And though it's not mainly new to us, but it's happening all over the world. This is how new gadgets are coming into the market and it being improved. Daily it's happening. Any minute, any given minute, an improvement is taking place. That's because already there are patented inventions and they are being improved.
But still the originator can stop it.
Also, yes, if he feels that the other one is not giving out anything new, but trying to manipulate his patent and earn some money, then he can stop that happening. But for that purpose, he has to see what the other person is doing.
But it will be harmful to society because it will be spread.
Yeah, that is of course a different matter. But the patent system is there for that protection and also promotion.
Other thing that is questionable to fix the 20 years for each product. For some products, you have to pay that period and everything is taken without any soon and
But it's, you can't be differentiating that period, from each and everyone. So generally, it's the acceptable term period for a patent. Yeah. And legal requirements, I explained. And then these are the application form. This is the application form. This is the fee structure. Student 2,300, individual 4,000, others 8,000. And we have to get these details: description, claims, abstract drawings, title, then technical field, background art, technical problem, technical solution. All these are explained naturally. If he is a real, true, genuine inventor, these things are explained clearly in the document. So what we do is, if they are together, we ask the applicant. This is why we say initially it's defective. We ask the applicant, no, these 4 lines are going under claims. So make it as claims. Others, you describe it under description and give abstract. That is the drawing. You saw the drawings, how they have given. This is the way that it should be explained. Brief description about the drawings and advantages, effects, mode for invention, industrial applicability. So the claims are very important because claims define your patent, the boundaries, and written approximation of the abstract, inventive concept, and also define the scope of protection. Claims clearly and concisely tell what the patent applicant claims to be his invention. That is why if the refrigerator has been invented, and if you are introducing some gadget to it so that it can be, the vegetable can be kept for say 1 year, now say 1 month, say 1 year. So that gadget has to be explained in his claims. The refrigerator is already there. This is the part that I am going to claim in the patent. So basic facts have to be given. We will check all that. Guidelines, that is to draft the patent application, formats, and these are all to describe. We have given these details. You don't have to know all these things, but just explain by way of a title and the claims description your patent application. That's enough. Now this is an example. If a patent applicant has invented a frying cooker, say frying cooker, just to fry. The objective of the invention is only to fry, but you can mention it as an apparatus for frying. If it could be used also for cooking, you must not mention it as apparatus for frying, because it can be used also for cooking. Right? An apparatus for cooking and frying, that should be the way to explain it. Right? Suppose if it could be used for many other tasks, it should be described as an apparatus for cooking. General term should be given so that it can be used for any other thing also. Even say supposing you invent a rice cooker, right? So if you mention it's rice cooker, it's only for rice, right? So if it can be used for any other cooking, so any say grains, right, dal, like that, it's a general thing. Then you must not identify specifically the saying rice, right? It should be mentioned in a wide form in the title, so that it can be used for other matters also.
If somebody develop the rice cooker,
Yeah.
and already developed and he can the parent, so some other person and develop same rice cooker and he make the name it's the low cost rice cooker.
So low cost you have to prove. How you say you low cost? Then you should be able to prove when it is used for 1 hour the amount of electricity power that you are going to use.
Manufacturing cost, I mean, Sri Lanka, if we manufacture develop rice cooker, it will be 1,000 rupees.
That is of course a different thing. That's you are using ingredients, low cost ingredient, but the nature of the invention is same. So then you can't claim a patent, but that can be manufactured with the permission of the original person who has the ownership for the rice cooker, because he might agree with you to have an agreement and reproduce it here in Sri Lanka. So that is how the franchise agreements and these international agreements are taking place for manufacturing of vehicles, refrigerators in developing countries. Like Japanese Toyota car is being manufactured in Malaysia or Indonesia or in Thailand. So the Fortuner vehicle we get here is a manufacture of product of Thailand or Indonesia. Because it's a low cost one, they have to have franchise agreements, license agreements, and manufacture at a low cost, but using the same technology. Not any other technology. If it is a new technology, only he can claim patents. Right, so these are all details how to write an abstract. So this is about industrial designs. Now already it's 8, right? Right? I think we should stop. I think it should not be the time for a session like this. You must start at least at 3 o'clock to do a 2-session period session like this.
In the future we will.
Yeah, so this is how I think that earlier ones also went until 8 o'clock, because there were questions. Actually, it's good to pose questions because this is an interesting audience actually. Because some places we just go and present and nobody asks a question and we go home. So it's over by 2 hours. So here of course it's very good, you all are asking questions and it's interesting. But only thing is it's already past the time. So designs are the appearance. Now this chair, this laptop, this kind of table, all are designs. Every day from morning to evening we use design, from the toothbrush to the handbag, to the traveling bag, to the shoes that you wear. All are special designs and protected somewhere in the world over. And even the car that you use, it's a trademark is there, say Toyota. Then say the system there is a patented one already. And the shape of the car is a design, right? It's protected for 15 years, renewable every 5 years. These are some of the examples. Even the watch designs, industrial designs, chairs, furniture. Now here this is a pair of shoes, Crocs shoes. It's a good industrial design. And I'll get on to copyright. Now this copyright is the protection given to musical or literary or artistic work, scientific work, that's books, songs, music, computer programs. So you get the copyrights, you don't have to register them, automatically it's getting the ownership. And related rights are the rights of the performer. That's a singer, artist, actor, stage play, stage actor, or teledrama actor. They are all holding of related rights. Copyrights are granted to the expression of the idea, not to the idea. Now, supposing you are writing a song about the environment, it's an idea. It's always, everybody writes songs, themes, films, do films, write scripts about environment. But about the environment, you do a film, you do a stage play, you do a song. So that expression is the one that is getting protected. So it can be a film, it can be a stage play, it can be a teleplay. Now, if, for example, Gamperli is a well-known book, still the copyright is there for them. And from that, one person came up and did a film, another person came up and did a stage play, teleplay, right? So all these are three things which get special protection. But ownership, permission should be taken from the original author.
So copyright is not limited to 20 years, it is going on and on.
Lifetime plus 70 years.
Right.
Lifetime of the originator plus 70.
70 years. So it is,
Lifetime plus 70.
yeah,
So that's a long time.
long time. This is how Professor Sarachandra's, even Maname, Singarabahu are protected, because even if he is not there, his family is proceeding with the yes. So
This is what I was a little bit curious about, how this 20 years and 70 years, these values were
yeah,
derived.
this is how the international concept has been drawn, and WIPO is managing all that. World Intellectual Property Organization is
So
the
it's maybe it's traditional or something.
traditional and coming from over 100 odd years. Right, so our first patent was granted in 1876 actually, under the British government.
First patent.
First patent.
What
So,
was that?
huh? That is for a tea processing huge equipment filed by Brook Bonds that time. Yeah, Unilever. So these are the two areas under copyright, related rights and copyright. So this also has a lot of details. We need a lot of time to explain all that, and why IP rights are important and functions of IP rights, how a country can develop because of IP rights. This is how America, Germany and UK, developed countries have come up. So I think about our office also we have a lot of details here. This is the financial progress that he was talking about. We earned 2013 98 million, and now it's 170 million in 2018. So it shows how we have progressed in our activities. So we earn trademarks, patents, design. See, the highest income earned is trademarks. Yes, and now it's 50 million that time, and now it's 101 million. So it's double. You can see patents not much developed, only 1 million more, because our research is not, that much.
So actually, if you go by the value itself, it would have gone down. Because you can see even 2013 was 8.4 million.
Yes.
Now 2018 9.5 million.
Yes.
Yeah, depreciation is
Yes.
good, I think.
If you are analyzing that way, yes, that's true. Yeah, but the point is, there are about say 1,000 patent applications pending without granting.
Examination is required.
Yeah, examination is required, and some of them have been examined, but we are unable to grant because the applicants are not fulfilling their requirements. We have informed them to complete the response, but they no response. So if they are completing them, also it's part of our activity, and also shows improvement. So we have a lot of other work happening now. So you can get more information from our website. So thank you very much. I think I have taken 1 hour.
Small thing, ma'am.
Yeah.
Like you said, patent, they have territorial rights.
Yes.
Can you tell if anyone wants to have rights all over the world, like in other
Yes,
countries?
yes. They have to file separate applications in the countries that they want to go in, or they can file a patent cooperation treaty application. That is, when you name about 100 countries in one application, through WIPO it can be sent out to other countries which you want to apply, right? So, but the point is, it's little costly. It takes about 2 to 3 lakhs to file that kind of application, and also it's costly because through PCT applications even you have to get into the countries, get in touch with the country's agents also, IP agents. So we have to pay more than the application fee to the IP agents. That's another costly affair, but still that PCT application filing facility is there if anyone is interested actually. Okay.
All the countries in the world
Members of PCT?
Yeah.
No.
WIPO.
Most of them, about 190 or 190. I can't remember the number of countries in the world. Other than this,
About the TRIPS agreement?
TRIPS agreement also almost all
countries.
almost all the countries are members now.
I think we entered in 1999.
90s, yes, 95 or something. Thereafter only we amended our new act. The new act came into the scene because we have to be in line with the TRIPS agreement. Okay then, thank you very much and have a nice evening. Thank you very much for inviting.
Thank you, Mrs. Ranavaka. Let's give a good round of applause to Mrs. Ranavaka for staying late and conducting the session. And for your information, this information is available at the library now at the TISC center. If you want to take any of the information from this presentation, you can refer to the librarian and take that information. So, without much delay, to close the proceedings, let me invite to present the token of appreciation. Let me invite our president, Professor Pallevath, on stage, please. For your valuable contribution, Mrs. Ranavaka, for coming in the evening and staying up late and conducting the presentation. This is a token of appreciation from ISL to you. Thank you very much. To close the proceedings, let me invite the chairman of Mechanical Engineer Sectional Committee, Engineer Asel Balagan, to deliver the vote of thanks of the day.
Thank you very much, Targa. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to deliver a vote of thanks of today's this important event. First, on behalf of ISL, I want to thank Director General of NIPO, Mrs. Geetanjali Ranavaka, for accepting our invitation and delivering today's lecture. And not only that, I want to thank Director General of NIPO, Madam, for supporting us to opening a TISC at ISL. Then I want to thank Assistant Director Mr. Nahalinda Attanayaka and Assistant Director Ms. Dilini for assisting this project. Then on behalf of Mechanical Engineering Sectional Committee, I want to thank ISL President Professor T.M. Pallevath for participating for today's lecture. Special thanks goes to Engineer Taraka Dayabandara. He is with this project at the beginning of to until now. He is the hero behind this project. Thank you very much, Taraka. Then I want to thank Engineer Arjuna Manamperi for his guidance for completing this project. He is the initiator of this project as a mechanical engineering section committee chair in 2 years ago. Then on behalf of mechanical engineering section committee, I want to thank ISS secretariat staff for assisting and making arrangement for today's event, especially for Mr. Chamara, Chamila, Kalana, Ramani, and all. And finally, I want to thank all of you for attending today's lecture and the event. Thanks. Good night.